I started out memorizing quotes. Then I got a coach. Then I started listening to other motivational speakers. Then I started going to seminars and workshops. Then I started speaking on a volunteer basis because I thought it was my calling. A calling is something that you're made for. So a calling is something that you love so much you do it for nothing, but you do it so well that people will pay you to do it. This is the time if you want to be on top of your game. Now listen, this is not for everybody. The masses will use their time being a spectator. We have been conditioned and programmed to be spectators, to watch people live their dreams. You want to use your time living the kind of life that people watch you. Hello? That people pay money to see you. People pay money to buy your books. People pay money to go to your seminars or your workshops, or to purchase your art, or to hear your lecture on a particular subject area. You want to use your time perfecting your skill and your passion to stand out as an expert. Use your time to operate from that consciousness of Henry David Thoreau, who said, "Do not go where the path may lead, go where there is no path and leave a trail." I talked to a friend of mine yesterday that has a new invention. I said, "Whoa!" I said, "How long you been working on this?" "Well, some time, but I finally got it together." I said, "Oh, I'm so proud of you." Because if you look around, people are coming up with new ideas. And here's something. If you do this, if you maximize your time, if you just decide, I'm going to find something that I would enjoy doing, and then I'm going to carve out the time and have a schedule that I'm working on it every day, listen to me, nobody can touch you. I was just going through the internet the other day. It's amazing the magnitude of craziness that's out there. This computer, the video, you can use it to start a global business, to earn millions of dollars, to touch millions of people. And it's amazing the time and the effort that people put in to produce stuff that's nonsense. It's amazing. There's no competition. There's no excuse today for not becoming successful. Even if you've just lost your job, even if you're going through foreclosure and eviction, you can come back. You have no competition because the majority of the people throw their time away and they have nothing to show for it. I remember when I was in Miami and I came down and I just finished doing one of the television shows that I'd been paid $5 million for. And I saw a friend of mine named Lefty that we used to shoot pool together on 3rd Avenue and 12th Street across from Douglas Elementary School, Sam's pool room. And I said, "Look, Lefty, I'm about to go back to Columbus, Ohio." He said, "Oh, great, man." He said, "I'll be right here when you come back, holding down the corner." He was holding down the corner. This guy that I used to look up to, he was a very talented and gifted basketball player. He was holding down the corner, have about 12 teeth in his mouth, holding down the corner. Have you seen people who just, their lives are just stopped? They're not working and producing. "Herein my Father glorified, that ye bear much fruit." We were put here to bear some fruit? No. Much fruit. To be productive, to make an impact, to create a presence. That's why we're here. To work, to leave our mark. And so do an evaluation of yourself. Ask yourself, if you look at 24 hours, how much time do you spend developing your mind? How much time do you spend learning a new skill? The economy has changed. 47 million jobs will be lost to artificial intelligence. Majority of money being made on the planet is being made virtually at home on a computer. The game has changed. The day where you can go to college and graduate and have thousands of dollars of debt and be able to get a job working for 40 years and retire in 40 years on 40%, which wasn't enough in the first place, that day is gone. And I'm encouraging you, get around people who are using their time productively, because people rub off on you. I remember Steve Skilkin. He's out of Columbus, Ohio. He really inspired me to earn my first million. He's a very good friend of mine. And say, hey, Boo and I, we're ready to watch the Baltimore Colts and Johnny Unitas. He said, I can't come Sunday afternoon. And I said, why? He said, I'm at the office. I'm working. I said, you the boss, man. Have your staff do the work on Monday morning. He said, I got a goal of earning my first million by myself and not with my father's money. Now, I was on the east side of Columbus, Ohio, living in what I would call a human doghouse. That's an apartment that does not have a back door. And Steve lived in Bexley in a home that's valued at probably $7 or $8 million. I'm getting all ready, me and Boo, Calvin and Patrick, let's sit in front of the television, watch Johnny Unitas and the Baltimore Colts live their dreams. And Steve, whose father, Joseph Skilkin, built shopping malls all across the United States. Steve, whose father left him and lent his sister millions of dollars, was at work on a Sunday afternoon. And I sat there for a minute, and I got up and I walked out. Who said, aren't you gonna watch the game? I said, no. I just couldn't do it. I could not do it. And I focused my energy. I said, wait a minute, he's already a millionaire. He inherited millions of dollars, but he had this sense of himself that he didn't want to capitalize on what his father generated. He wanted to be able to outdo his father. See, this is the first generation that will not outdo their parents. What I've accomplished, what I've done, based upon what Mamie Brown put in me, my mother, I went beyond her. She had a 3rd grade education. I had a 12th grade. I was in the 12th grade, graduated from Booker T. Washington High School in special education. But because of what she put in me, I went far and touched millions of people's lives around the world because of how I used my time. She worked in a cafeteria. She worked for wealthy families. And there's nothing wrong with that. But our children are to go beyond us. I was with a friend and he called his son and wanted to borrow some money for gas. I didn't say anything, none of my business. My mother used to have a sign on her mirror, oh Lord, help me keep my nose out of other people's business. Miles Monroe, he said, when you know your purpose, that narrows how you use your time. How you use your time. How are you using your time? You have something special. You have greatness in you. You have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine. I know you've done some things that you're proud of, but I can tell you, based upon my own experience, if you're willing to put in the time with a coach, that's me up in here. If you're willing to put in the time to learn how you can use your voice, to learn how you can use your story. And the time is now. Don't put it off. Don't put it off. No, don't take it for granted. You've got more in you. Be willing to learn something new. Be willing to put in the time and the effort to acquire new skills so that you'll be in charge of your financial future. Things about the bottom is about to fall out in this economy. I know a thing or two. I'm a former elected official. I know the signs. And so the people that are going to come out on top are the people that will put in the time and effort to learn something new, to get the coaching that they need to get, to save them time. You always want to do things that can save you time. From somebody who's been there, done that, and bought the t-shirt. If that's who you are, if you want to save some time learning how you can use your story and your knowledge and take advantage of this attention economy, if you're serious, I only want to work with people that are serious, that are hungry, because I was hungry. I'm just not mentally fit to work for somebody for the rest of my life. And that's just not me. I don't like going into an office and being all cooped up. No, seeing people I don't want to see every day. No. You are here to live life on your terms. You've been given authority and dominion over everything on the face of the earth. You're made in the likeness and image of God. If you believe that, then live like that. Live from a place of power. Because that's who you are. You got it like that. I'll teach you. If you have goals and dreams, I'm putting together a community of people of collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships. Every day we'll be talking about how you can develop your mind. Every day we're talking about how you can learn a new skill that will put you outside of the realm of a job, the journey of the broke. Every day. When you're in a community of collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships, and I'm coaching you, eye has not seen, ear has not heard, nor is it in the heart of mankind what God has in store for you. When you are willing to open your mind to new possibilities, upgrade your skill set, and get around the right people. I can't tell you the number of intelligent, gifted people who got it wrong, who got it wrong. They got around the wrong people, and that short-circuited their potential. This is a time, and I'm going to share some steps with you that's very important, because when I became a speaker and I started my business and several other businesses, it was against all odds. You hear me? Against all odds. With no college education and nobody who looked like me that was doing what I'm doing now. But now you see motivational speakers everywhere. Everybody's saying, I'm a motivational speaker. If you were to help people, you would say, well, the only thing I can do if I want to help people, become a preacher. But then when I start doing this, now there are people who say, wait a minute, there's another option. There's another way. See, what we have to do now is we are in a creative mode. Everything that happens is for our good. All things work together for good for those who love God and for those who are called according to his purpose. If you don't know anything else, you know that. You know that. When we look at what has taken place and where we are right now, this is a fresh start. And we want to take advantage of this. This is no time to relax and say, we did it. No, we did not. This is a fresh start. This is a new beginning. This is a time to build legacies. This is a time to be motivated, get the family involved, get the kids involved, and get focused on what your goal and what your dream is, and what is it that you're going to do now that we're in this place. What is it that you're going to do with your talent? This is a time to work your talent. I remember when I decided, Wesley, Margaret Ann, Leonard, Angelo, listen to me. Sharon, I'm going to buy my mother a home. I'm going to do that. Are you guys going to join me? What are you talking about? I said, I'm going to buy our mother a home. Are you going to join me? Yeah, we'll help you. You know, and they did what they could do, but I was the lead guy. Okay. And so we divvied up what each person would do. Margaret, as she bought the groceries, I paid the bills. Wesley was in Vietnam fighting for our country and got a Purple Heart. Yes. See, when you have a new chance, see, life is cyclic. It's like a roller coaster. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. Sometimes things go well, sometimes they don't go so well. So this is a period. This is a new season. Listen here. This is a new season in your life, in my life, in our life. And now we want to work. You want to work your gift. Not just be a part of somebody else's dream, but this is a time to think and come up with some new ideas. What is it that you're going to do now in this new place, in this new season? See, there's never a shortage of money, just a shortage of ideas. There's a shortage of thinking. When these foreclosures, when the various restrictions that will be lifted, and they will be eventually, all the stuff that's happening right now, what we have to do, it's better to have a plan and not need it than to need it and not have it. And I'm saying to you, find something that's you. Find something that's you. Write this down. Your voice is your superpower. No matter what business you're going to go into, your voice is your superpower. If you understand that, you believe that, just put yes in the comment section. Yes in the comment section. Your voice is your superpower. If you're involved in sales, your voice, you got to be able to sell. If you're involved in multi-level marketing, real estate, insurance, the financial, you've got to sell yourself. It's very important. Your ability to make a point, the ability to influence people, the ability to make a greater impact. In the beginning was the Word. The Word is powerful. One of the things I can share with you, now you're talking about what is the superpower? What are you talking about? Something that gives you an advantage. I was labeled educable, mentally retarded. Everybody counted me out. And then when I met Mr. Leroy Washington, I was in special education at Booker T. Washington High School in Miami, in Liberty City, in Overtown, moving back and forth. But Mama was promising rent. And he said, young man, develop your mind. Young man, be mindful of who you're around. Young man, once you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are. Those three things are very important. And so the first one, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to hungrytospeak.com. hungrytospeak.com, because there you're going to find some medicine for the mind, some power for the mind, and it's called Choosing Your Future. It's a series that I recorded, and at the time I got through with that, that's when I made my first million. That's when I made my first million. People say, what's the most difficult thing you've ever done? Making $1 million? No, the most difficult thing I've ever done, to believe that I could do it. Given my circumstances, born in an abandoned building on a floor, not knowing my birth parents, being a foster child and then adopted, being labeled educable, mentally retarded, put back from the 5th grade at Douglas Elementary School into the 4th grade, and failing again at Booker T. Washington High School. To overcome being in a culture where you are marginalized, where you have the complexion of rejection. To believe that I had the ability to do it. I remember there was a program when I was a kid. Millenniums don't know about that. They weren't here then. They used to have a program called The Millionaire. And John Beresford Tipton would give Michael Anthony $1 million to give it to a particular family. And after the program would go, somebody come to the house and knock on the door. I would jump up and run to the door. Mama would say, where you going, boy? I said, I was checking to see if that's the man with the check. She said, if you don't sit your behind down, if he had $1 million check, somebody would have busted him in the head by now. You know what? We got a fresh start. This is dramatic. God has been in the midst of all this stuff. And now we want to take advantage of it. Now we want to milk it. This is our time. This is the time to get it done in 21. And part of that process is what's going to be different about you. What's going to be different? This is the time to take it up, to step it up. This is the time to take your performance, to take your focus to the next level. What's going to be different about you? See, the people that are going to maximize this, the people that are going to capitalize on this, the people that's going to make this year, 21, the year to get it done, are the people that are hungry. You got to be hungry. When people are working against you, when there are systems and things in place that are designed to hold you back, you got to be hungry. Things have not changed that much that you can't be hungry. If you're not hungry, if you don't feel that your goal and your dream is necessary, your dream will end up a casualty. And so you got to get up each day. The people that are hungry, they're the first ones to get up in the morning and the last ones to go to sleep at night. People that are hungry, they have an agenda for their life of what they want to get out of the day. People that are not hungry, they are part of somebody else's agenda. They just are trying to go through the day. And don't mess with them. Don't criticize them. Leave them alone. My mother had a sign, I always talk about it, on her mirror. Oh, Lord, help me keep my nose out of other people's business. So I'm talking to you this morning because as much as I'm talking to you about this, I'm talking to myself about this. I'm 75. You know, you get 75. Let me share something with you. All kind of stuff start happening to you. You wake up one morning, you start moving. Oh, I used to wonder, Mama would say, oh, Arthur's bothering me. Mama, who's Arthur? Don't worry, boy, you live long enough, you'll find out. Well, I know where Arthur is now. He's on my right hip, and he's been giving me a fit up in here, up in here. Oh, my God. She's talking about arthritis. Thank the Lord for waking me up in my right mind this morning. Mama, why do y'all say that every Sunday? Why do you say that? Don't worry, boy. You live long enough, you'll find out. I went to Cancer Centers of America. I lost my passport. I left my identification there at the hospital. I got home and I said, hey, did you see it, John Leslie? No, sir, Daddy. Do you know where I put it? No, sir, Daddy. Who's 75 here? You 36. I'm the one 75. You should be watching me. You know, you can't leave me by myself. Oh my God. You know, I mean, oh my God. I mean, just little aches and pains coming from everywhere. You say, wait a minute, what's going to come next? I didn't do nothing to deserve this. Oh my God. Oh, so I have to take my time going down the steps. My mind is young and vibrant and energetic, but the body said, you better take your time. You better take your time, Mr. Motivator. For your behind fall down these steps. You might be thinking young and motivated, but you better positively take your time going down the steps. Oh, getting older is so humbling. It's so humbling. That's why I think Paul say, pray unceasingly. But this is a fresh start. This is a time to be excited. This is a time to get with some people that you know that's going in the direction of where you're going, that's grateful that they're still here because of God's grace and mercy, and to brainstorm about what we are going to do next. That's what I'm doing with my sons, with my daughters. These are my children here. Yeah, that's just half of them. Lord said, be fruitful and multiply. I took him seriously. I got 5 girls and 5 boys. I smile at you. You'll fail a rabbit test. Millennials don't know anything about a rabbit test. I know they say, what does he mean by that? What's a rabbit test? Don't worry, baby. That's okay. He's a little off. Don't worry about that. I'm telling you. We got to be grateful and celebrate and have a spirit of gratitude that we are still here, that we are victorious, that we have accomplished some things and have created an opening so we can work our gifts. That's what we've done. That's what we're fighting for, to be in position so we can do that which we are called to do. And trust me, this place where we are, this is not any time for people who are just looking for getting another job, who've been eliminated from the job market because of the coronavirus or because of artificial intelligence. No. This is a time to create. We were created by the Creator to create something for yourself, something that's you, something that's in your heart, something that's your calling. A job you get paid for. A calling is what you're made for. And I decided, I had a goal. What's your goal now? What is it you're going to do? People that don't have goals die sooner than people who have goals. Why? They have no reason to get up in the morning. They need an alarm clock. But when you have a goal, you don't need an alarm clock. No, you don't. You'll get up. And trust me on this. When there's a reason for your life, reasons are empowering reasons. They bring something out of you. Reasons allow you to rise and face whatever life throws at you, because it's going to throw some stuff at you. Think it not strange that you'll face the fiery furnaces of this world. You will, no matter if you give 10% of your earnings. You will, no matter if you've been real good. You will, no matter if you speak in unknown tongues. You will have tribulations. You will, if you've been real good. Yet you will have tribulations. Stuff's going to happen to you. Why? That's the way it's set up. Let me tell you something. I have gone through so much stuff. I'm here in Cancer Centers of America, and they gave me a CT scan. You have to drink the solution, and then they scan your body. And they said, oh, we see a little presence of something here. I've said, Lord, look here. Don't you have anybody else? Can you pass this cup to somebody else? Well, come on, what do you mean? What you talking about? Well, you need to come back, and we're going to give you an MRI. MRI? Oh my goodness! I don't like MRIs. Oh, y'all should be calling and talking to people in places where I've been where they gave me an MRI. When the last MRI I had, I left them a little gift in there. And now that machine, that MRI machine, is on the side of the building. Oh my God. They didn't give him his medication this morning. I'm sorry, Tyrone. I'll be through in a minute. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Come on. They put a mask on my face, and then they strap my face down, and then they put straps over my arms and everything and my body and push me in, and they closed the door, and then they went out the room and said, just relax and breathe deeply. And they turned the light off, and they said, when we push this button, we tell you to hold your breath. Are you all right? No! I tell you what I did one time. Let me tell you. They tell you why it strapped me down, because last time I did it, I scooted out. I scooted out the other end. I said, no. no. Homie can't do this. No. I scooted out. Y'all got to give me some. I'm claustrophobic. Yeah, when I was a kid, they were playing and locked me in the refrigerator, and I had recalls about all that kind of stuff. So maybe the word got out, so they strapped me down this time. They strapped me down and pushed me in. I called the whole gang, give me the script, not the strength. Give me the script to handle this. I was trying to say the Lord's Prayer, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. I had known the 23rd Psalm since I was a kid. All I could remember was when that light went off, when they closed that door, all I could remember was, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. It's amazing. If you never had an MRI, you have no idea what I'm talking about. Hey, all I'm saying is, life is coming for you. Why? I didn't do nothing. I understand. It's coming for you. And so, therefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, that having done all to stand. And so, as you think about yourself and think about where we are right now, we got a fresh start. And we want to capitalize on this. We want to maximize this. We want to get everything we can out of this. We want to milk this time until it expires. You know what Robert Schuller said? He said, tough times never last, but tough people do. And he was right. And we are still here. We are tough. Now we got to do what we have to do until this expires. Nothing stays the same. Everything must change. Nothing stays the same. Listen, Quincy Jones, flesh and blood didn't reveal that to you, but my heavenly Father, which art in heaven. We got a fresh start. It's time to get serious. What is it you want to do? What's in your heart? What is it that you'd like to do before you check out? My goal is to train entrepreneurs. My goal is to teach people how to use their voice and how to promote their business, to promote themselves, to promote their ideas, to promote their products, to create a new chapter in their lives, to live a larger life, because we can. We got it like that. You think God spared us so we can live a small life? No. We are here to do the greater work. So what does that look like for you? We're here to build a legacy for our children and our children's children. And do you realize that most men, when they die, they leave a liabilities rather than a legacy? They're not even thinking about it. See, when you are in survival mode, it's one thing to live versus surviving. When you're made in the likeness and image of God, and you know that, and you've been given authority and dominion over everything on the face of the earth, and you live from that place of power rather than have that just be lip service, rather than life service, you're able to create. What are you creating? How much time do you have left? The journey that has brought me this far is much longer than the journey that I have left. So my goal is to maximize it. My goal is to finish strong. How many of you are ready to finish strong so that you can live full and die empty, as Miles Monroe would say? Most people go to their graves with their talents, their abilities, their dreams in them. You have to get to a place where you say to yourself, I'm not going out like this. I have a friend of mine who he lived a criminal life, in and out of jail, in and out of jail. And the last time he got out of jail, he went to the hospital. One of the the children that he had impregnated a woman with, he was there at the hospital when the baby was born, his son. And when the baby opened his eyes, he said that was his rehabilitation. He said he decided in that moment, that was a turning point, in that moment, he would no longer live a criminal life. What will it take for you? Paul said, I must die daily. What will it take for you to die to who you have been now that we have a fresh start? What will it take for you to die to who you've been, to have a fresh start on this day, to honor your commitment to yourself, to get off all your medication, to exercise? Now I'm talking to myself. And do the things that you know you need to do, Mr. Brown, Mr. Motivator, that will keep you here on the planet longer. So you got to do some things so you can be here. Being here is not a given. You have to work at it. So what's your game plan for being here, for improving your life and putting more life into your years? So when that young sister runs, who announced her candidacy at the inauguration, what are you going to do differently? See, it's one thing to say, I want to be here at 90. You're 75 now. I want to be here now. But it's something else when you say, I expect to be here. See, want shows up in conversation. Expectation shows up in behavior. Wow. Oh my goodness. If the shoe fit, wear it. And if it doesn't fit and it's your shoe, wear it anyhow. Oh no, he didn't go there. Yes, he did.
What advice would you give to someone that is struggling with addiction? Because I know in your book you don't say that, you don't tell people this is the path to do it. I mean, everyone.
Because what I did, I don't suggest that to anybody. Everybody can't do what I did.
Yeah.
Okay. I went to something that I was told. How many of you speakers? Raise your hands, please. Speakers. How many of you are coaches? Okay. What we do is when we speak as speakers, as coaches, as entrepreneurs, the people that are with us, they all have stories in their head that they got from life. My favorite book says, be ye not conformed to this world, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. When Dr. Alfred Goldston came to me and said, Les Brown? I said, yes. I've got some bad news. I said, what is it? He said, man, he said, you got prostate cancer. Your PSA is 2,400. I said, what does that mean? That means your prostate-specific antigen, 1 to 4 is normal. And I said, is there anything else? He said, yeah. What? It's metastasized to 7 areas of your body. I said, wow. He said, why are you smiling? I said, man, 7 is my lucky number. He looked at his nurse. I said, I was born February the 17th. I'm one of 7 children. Joshua marched around the walls of Jericho 7 times. Naaman dipped himself in the River Jordan 7 times. I said, 7 is my lucky number. And I asked, is there anything else? He said, yes. And I said, what is it? He said, you're ugly too. He said, but you got this. You got this, Brown. Are you listening to me? He said, I never tell my patients they're terminally ill. What I say is that my knowledge, my abilities, and my skills have terminated. I determine the diagnosis. You and God determine the prognosis. The fact is not a verdict. You got your work cut out for you. And I said, thank you. I want you to write this down. Distract, dispute, and inspire. What he did was cancer. Distract. Cancer is the most feared word in 7 different languages. So when someone is told you have cancer, the fear alone, there's a book called The Biology of Hope, that it compromises your immune system to protect you by 40%. So what he did was he distracted me from the fear. And when he made me laugh, when you laugh, and I use humor in my presentation, because when people laugh, Joe, they're not thinking, and their heart's open, and then I come up back with something I want them to get in their heart. He said, "You're ugly too." And I started laughing and said, "Come on, that ain't funny." He said, "But you got this. You got this." And I felt it in my heart. He said, "A diagnosis is not a prognosis. No, this is no verdict. You and God got this." And that's what we do. When we distract them from the current story and speak affirmatively, you can make it through this. You dismantle their current belief system. You're now in their heart, and you inspire them to become, as Mother Teresa would say, a pencil in the hand of God, and start writing a new chapter in their lives. And that was 39 years ago. That's why I got the Cancer Centers Award of America. Perseverance, 39 years, fourth stage cancer. Yes. So when we speak, the mindset, your mindset, the whole area of psychoneuroimmunology, the mindset, the biology of hope that Norman Cousins talked about, who was a physicist, and he saw old Groucho Marx movies and I Love Lucy and used humor to get through it. And so through your mindset, through changing your eating habits and decreasing the toxic negative people in your life and things that's not in alignment with you being able to live a life of joy, harmony, and peace. That's very important. You have to begin to assess yourself and look at your life, and you have to say, who is it I can count on and who should I count out? And you're one of those people I call. I said, "Joe been through this. This is his passion." And then I went online, I started doing research. I wanted to find out. I told everybody, if you know somebody who died from prostate cancer, don't tell me, I'm not interested. I want to know who lived. You know, there's a song called I don't want nobody bringing me any bad news. I'm not being insensitive, I just don't need that in my consciousness. And so I went online and saw this kid, Dr. Lee, Starving Cancer, and Chris beat cancer. And I started talking to people. A guy who is in my book that I talk about, who I went to meet him at his house. He was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And they said people die within 6 months. And it's been 8 years now. And I asked him, I said, "Man, why are you here?" He said 3 doctors told him to get his affairs in order. But there was a doctor he developed a relationship with. And I talk about this in the book. And he came in and he said, "This is for you." And he gave him a clock. He was wrapped up and he unpackaged the gift, the clock. He said, "Man, there's no hands on this clock." He said, "I know." He said, "You have to determine how long you want to be here. That's your call. That's not us. That's you. You now have to take responsibility for what you want to do at this point. You can either surrender to what we have told you, and I'm saying to you that we are not experts. This is a practice, because I got a stethoscope and a white jacket. Just because I said, or my partner said, that you have a terminal illness does not mean that it's true. Life is a fight for territory. And once you stop fighting for what you want, what you don't want will automatically take over. You got a fight on your hands.
Wow. There's a point in time where, as you know, you've sat through with many people, when life ends, it is time to let go. And that, do you have a fear of death?
No. I'm not a religious person, I want to say, because I quote a lot of things from Bible everywhere. I'm not a religious person, but I'm a spiritual person. Religious people are afraid of going to hell. Spiritual people have been there. And hell to me is what you experience when you die and you meet the person that you were supposed to become. That's why one of my mentees, Dr. Miles Monroe out of the Bahamas, who died in a plane crash, and I give my speech, live full and die empty. He said the ideal situation for a man or woman to die, Howard Thurman, is to have family members praying with you as you're about to cross over. But he said, imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed and standing around your bed, the ghost of the dreams, the ideas, the abilities, the talents, the gifts given to you by life, but you, for whatever reason, you never used those talents. You never tapped into those gifts. You never made that contribution. You never made the impact that you were chosen out of 400 million sperm to make. And there they are, standing around your bed, looking at you with large, angry eyes, saying, we came to you, and only you could have given us life. And now we must die with you forever. I want all of you to say with me, live full.
Live full.
Say it again, live full.
Live full.
Die empty.
Die empty.
That's what the Genius Network is about. It's about robbing the cemetery of the gifts that you have in you. You're a masterpiece because you're a piece of the master. You were born and preserved for such a time as this. Don't come for me. I didn't call an Uber. Yeah.
Wow.
I want to ask two different questions. One question is one about what people can do to ignite the hunger in themselves to make themselves a better person. But first, what do you think needs to happen for the human race to come together and for racism to fade, to be a smaller part of our world? What needs to happen?
As I said in the beginning, cities, society, countries are created by people. And they can and they will be changed by people. The secret is to maintain commitment through all the frustrations, through all the disappointments, through all the setbacks, with all the resistance that we will encounter in attempting to change the way that we function as a society. Slavery existed in this country for over 300 years. We in this country had laws that said a black man has no rights in which a white man has to respect. We in this country said a black person is 3/4 human. White people used to use children, black children, as bait to catch alligators in Florida. When you don't recognize a person's humanity, you can do anything to them, like keep your knee on their neck for over 8 minutes with your hand in your pocket, and 3 buddies watch, and the world watch, and the camera's on you saying, come on, he can't read, stop. When you can do that, that says a lot about the mindset of the people that do that. And what we must do is continue to fight, continue.
Talk to me about what we talked about earlier. We talked earlier today about, and you mentioned, and it really resonated with me, that a lot of racism is not you're not born with it. You learn it over time. And
there's a lady named
for our
Jane
future.
Elliott.
Yeah, go ahead.
Jane Elliott. She's done a brown eyes, blue eyes experiment. She talked about the fact that racism is learned. There's a guy that's one of my mentees, Jeff. He's out of Illinois. Used to be a skinhead, as I tell you, and He used to drive 80 miles to come to my sessions. And I was training in Chicago. And he's a quadriplegic now, but he can drive. He can have some use of his hands. And I said, why do you come see me? He said he fell out of a tree and he was paralyzed, and his mother saw me on PBS and had him to look at it. And he heard me say, life is God's gift to us, and how we live our lives is our gift to God. And he realized that he'd been wasting his life feeling sorry for himself because of his accident, because of his paralysis. And he said, when he saw me, he said it stirred something in him that he was going to do something with his life. And so after several months, because we're still friends to this day, and this is over 20 years ago, I said, Jeff, I want to ask you a tough question. He said, I knew it was coming. I said, why did you hate people like me? He said, Les, I've been thinking about that to see what I would say to you. He said, some things are taught, some things are caught. I was in the environment. I didn't know. And no one could have told me, as deep as my hatred of Black people was, that I could listen to you or anybody that was Black. He said, I really don't know when that happened. He said, but I'm a different person now. But we're all human. But your voice, when I heard your voice, it made a difference for me, man. And I've talked to other people, and since then, I've been able to convince other skinheads to leave that kind of demonic, destructive, toxic mindset and view all people as humans. And so it's gonna happen. Change is gonna come.
Generation by generation, how we teach our kids.
Yes.